It's Johnny. Black Americans, I may have to apologize. The Moors were not black. I'm not sure if I'm going to agree with it, but man, there's the guy I follow, and I trust him. I'm going to post the video after this. But he said they were brown skinned people like Northern Africa that were one of the first inhabitants. One of the strong. I don't buy that. It doesn't matter what I believe or what I think because Caucasians are from the North Pole, the land of the Caucasians. If you look around the North Pole, that's where the Caucasians started coming down. And now all the concord's been shipped to Australia, South Africa, Canada, and the United States. Those are conquered people. We all received a new language and religion. So if you just jump on the racism propaganda and all the stupidness that our education tries to pass as truth, then you don't know who's in charge of your education. They'll never teach slaves the truth. Never. And you live on a tax plantation, land of the free where nothing's free. We lost all that during the Civil War, but they're saying that the Moors were not black. The Moors controlled Spain and France for 700 years. And what Caucasians were there were enslaved. That's just how it was. But when Queen Isabella hired the Italian Christopher Columbus to follow the Moors after they conquered them, after the Roman armies conquered them, because who can stand up to the Roman armies? Not even the Native Americans. And they're elites. Horseback. They're remnants of Genghis Khan, is what I've always said. Because they share the same DNA, the same issues of breaking down the alcohol molecule as Asians. And the nomads of the Native Americans and why they were so scattered. That doesn't explain North America and what was here. What was here in 3 Great Lakes. They blew up mountain ranges, the Rocky Mountains that held in lakes, Great Lakes. Imagine blowing up Lake Superior, Lake Erie, any of the lakes, and what that would do downstream. Oh my God. Grand Lake for the Grand Canyon, Hopi Lake, and Ute Lake. These lakes are the size of, well, if they wouldn't have drained them, I don't think Oklahoma, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, none of those would be here. And when they blew the dam open, it created the Grand Canyon. Everybody knows what a spillway is. Put the Grand Canyon where it's at, and now add the 3 Great Lakes. And all that water and what, man, because there's pillars that are every war is meant to hide history. They only blow up shit. Who's in charge of your education? Who's in charge of all publishing? It's the same group of people. Who's in charge of the FDA, FDC, or the FDA, the CDC? Who's in charge of fucking compounding interest? Who's in charge of everything you see on TV, everything you hear on the radio? Anybody that you're watching on your TV is under contract with who? Who owns all the pharmaceuticals? Who owns everything in the world? You get paper, they get gold. Let's not make no mistakes. Well, Johnny, you can't say that because then that's racist and anti-Semitic. The people that control the world, you think I'm making fun of them? Fuck no, man. I'm scared to death of them. But they're saying the Moors were not black. I disagree, man. Everything I've seen with the Moors, they had a hierarchy. It's an Arab nation, a Muslim nation, and they had a hierarchy, a pyramid of slaves. Everything in your history, everybody was always a slave. The stronger people conquered the weaker people, and they enslaved them. And slaves had slaves. That's the way it's always been. Every Native American culture, every Viking culture, every African culture, every Asian culture, every Chinese, every history, slavery's worldwide. And the same people financed it. Yeshua stood up to them. Yeshua's the man. Jesus is the story. Yeshua was a Jew and he stood up to him. He said, why do you have to finance all aspects? Why are you financing every ship you finance? Every plantation, every person, the capture. It's unreal. It's absolutely appalling. But there's a bunch of white people. Our forefathers. John Hancock declared our independence, signed it so big he was acting president. They don't teach you that. They teach you the United States started at George Washington. No, we had to fight for it. And that's why they hate white culture. Because white people will stand up for what's just and what's right. And when they unite, they can bring down the strongest control. And that's why they don't want us to be united in the United States. They want division. They want the most ignorant of us to blame it on crayons. Think about that. They're saying Scottish people are the same as Italian people, and Russian people are the same as Norwegian. You're not allowed to ask any questions about the Jewish faith, its histories, its enemies, its wars, its nothing. You're in charge of all the publishing, all the education, and the first thing they're going to teach you is they are the victims in everything, and they don't believe what you believe. Their God's different than your God. It's on the backs of your ass, whether or not you believe it or you don't believe it. But now we're getting into the Moors and who they were, and I'm following, I'm listening. I'm not just saying, hey, what I know's the truth. I just know what you know. It's not the truth. And these guys are digging into histories. Do you know that every major city's had a fire and every library was hit? Every war demolishes structures and historical. But you're right, man. The way we're living, all these chemicals in our food, that's what we need to be doing. All these chemicals in our water. We don't need the best water, the cleanest water. No. We'll let them handle our pharmaceuticals and all our medicine too. You good? And then they'll put it on TV so we can all see it. We can't lose any control. Just ask TikTok. I'm on my 14th account, and this may be my last video. There's something TikTok can't stand. They got to harass, they got to strike, and they got to ban me for just talking. You can't say, hey man, HIV is out of control with skyrocketing numbers. Can we talk about it? TikTok says, no, you're not allowed to talk about diseases in your community. Well, what did Fauci do in the 70s, 80s, and you're not allowed to talk about the number one employee for the government that used AutoPen and the guy that won the 2020 elections when they forced vaccinations on you. He ran from this basement and was elected merely on mail-in ballots. Our elections are free and fair. They shut the fucking economy down, and I lost my business. Can I talk about that? Nope, not on TikTok. This is a corporation of profit, and we have community standards guidelines that are way above your rights. We do business with inside the United States, and your rights do not stand inside our business because our community guidelines are paramount. I'm Johnny, and I see things different, man. If you want to follow the Moors and you want to learn the histories of black Americans that were here hundreds and hundreds of thousands, we'll never know what's in North America. The only thing, our last histories are from our Native American brothers and sisters. And during that genocide, they were moved so much that they lost everything. No truth will ever come out on the tax plantation. Everybody needs to understand that. You'll get your medicine the way we see fit. You'll watch Why can't I get a podcast? Why can't I get out there and just... Why can't I'm looking at the FBI right now on Fox, which only gives you 10% of the truth. The FBI they have not held one person accountable. What are they going to get somebody on Nancy Pelosi on being the world's best trade? Insider trading? Martha Stewart can go to jail, but not Nancy Pelosi. Not one Clinton coincidence. Jerome Powell is keeping us paying record interest rates, insurance, record profits, and nobody's being held accountable. And I'm a Trump fan.